Put that on full. There we go. Awesome. Sweet. All right. Get right to business here. Okay. No. You can't get on me. Come on. There we go. All right. How's it going, fish folk? Welcome aboard. As you can see, getting the hose situated. I'm dripping on my seat. That's awesome. That rocks. All right. Sweet. Make sure we're not kinked up anywhere because I don't want my hose to. There we go. Let's flatten that out just a little bit more. There we go. Getting there. Come on. Got a couple of kinks here, folks. I'll be right back to the camera here. Of course, we don't want any kink here. There we go. I think we're good to go in that regard. Cool. Sweet. Ooh. How's it going, everybody? Yes, we're finally back here again. A little bit later than I initially thought we were going to be. But alas, here we are. Some late night musings again for the second straight week in a row here now. And the title, once again, pretty self-explanatory. We're going to go ahead and just refill the 510. Earlier we trained it up and drained it earlier. So we're just, now we're going to just refill it with the hose that you see there. And we're going to refill this thing back up. As you can see, there's water in this. Well, I may or may not have gotten a little head start or so. So hence why there's water in here. Yeah, I got a little head start. So, because, it didn't take as long to fill up this tank as I thought it would. I was hoping that maybe if we went ahead and put a little water in here too to start with, hopefully, we don't stir up that sand too much. But even if we do, it's going to settle overnight. It's not like we're doing tons more with it here tonight. I might go ahead, honestly, even tonight, I might connect my air pump and get some air stones in there after it's full. That's about the majority of it. I will show you guys that back there in the 240, you'll notice a big black blob back there in the tank. Well, that's because I do have two 250-gallon grade sponge filters back there in the 240. They're not connected to any airline or anything, but I have them sitting in there. I'm going to have them at least sitting there for overnight and such and all that to try to soak up some of that beneficial bacteria in there. And the levels in there are pretty much ideal. I mean, not too many nitrates or nitrites and no trace of ammonia. So that's perfect for a puffer, honestly. And we're just going to let it sit in there for a day or two before we mosey those sponge filters over. You can see one of them there. You can kind of see the other one maybe. Sadly, my 38-gallon tank with the Amazons is kind of covering that. But yes, that's why we have 2 extra sponge filters in there to try to soak up some of that beneficial bacteria. And what that does, once we move them over back here, is it's kind of a nice little, I guess in a way, some might say a cheat code perhaps, or a little boost or something to kind of speed up the process of cycling this tank and such. So, which is still going to take a little bit of time though. Yeah, I mean, I can tell you now, the Maboo puffer in this tank is not going in here for at least a couple weeks, maybe even a month yet. Just depends on how quick this tank cycles, because we're probably going to use some stability from C-Chem as well as some Prime. That's just kind of how I cycle my tanks to get them up and going to where they need to be. But yeah, we'll get to that there. Amateur Aquatic Addiction saying hello. How's it going? Triple A, perhaps we'll say. Saying hello, giving the wave. Appreciate it. Coming in here on this late evening here. All right, well, not going to waste too much time here. Let's just go ahead and let's get the hose running here. Be right back. We're going to keep the flow at a steady rate. We're not going to do this full blast. There we go. We're going to rearrange that camera, which will hopefully take some of that out. And it's going to stir up a little bit of sand, but we'll rearrange that there later. That's all right. See, we got a little over a handful of people here watching as we get this going. Let me get that light back on. There we go. There we go. That's a little bit better. Yeah, getting this going here. Not that I think we'll get any calls here, but we'll go ahead and silence my phone here. Because for some reason, the spam callers have been really crazy today. So we don't want that to bother us here. There we go. Phone is silenced. And then, yeah, now we just kind of let this hose sit there. We'll let it do its thing. That hose is moving around a little bit, though. Cyber, how's it going, man? Been a while. Or actually, no, I saw you one of the late night streams earlier, actually. Either way, great to see you again here. I know that sometimes your schedule doesn't allow you to always see my live streams that frequently, but great to see you here nonetheless. Speaking of which, we got Crypt Keeper Aquatics saying hello again. Welcome back, Crypt. Good to see you. And we got Savvy3 here. How's it going? Saying good evening to everyone. Good evening to you as well, Savvy. Great to see you. I'm going to go ahead and grab a rock here real quick. Because that hose is just moving around a little bit too much for my liking. Oh. I'm going to grab something to put a little weight on this. Make sure it doesn't pop out of there. Oh, come on, get on there. There we go. There we go. All right. Back to there in just a minute. See, we got a little bit of a kink back here, so I'm going to get that out here real quick. Much better. Daggone hose, this stinking thing always wants to clang up and or kink up and such. Oh, and now we got a kink up here. Good Lord. There we go. Now we're running full speed ahead. Well, full speed ahead as we can. Like I say, I don't want to go full on here because at the same time I don't want to, I don't want to totally have the hose go crazy in there. Kenny E, what's going on? My favorite Viking fan right there, even though I know it might be a tough week to admit that here this week, but good to see you here as always, Kenny. And or Danny as well, perhaps. Great to see you here. We also, of course, Danikin's also saying, what's up, fish people? All sorts of awesome folks here early on here. We do. Cyber, that's actually a good question. In terms of like a full-on aquascape, other than these pieces of wood, of course, which you already see that we're going to put in there in some shape, way, or fashion. I haven't even fully figured that out yet. But yeah, some woods in there. I might get some like rocks and all that. I got some dragon stone sitting down here. I got a piece of dragon stone in with the Maboo right now and his 40 breeder that he's swimming around in right now as we speak. So I might put some of that in there. I might get some like big river rocks and such in there too. I don't know. As he gets bigger, the plants are, if I see Crypt Keeper, I'll get to you in a minute. But I say plant-wise, I do think I'm going to try some plants in here. I put jungle fowl and a couple of, actually crypts and the 40-gallon breeder with him, and he's actually left them alone. He's also still like only about 6.5 inches right now, so he's not overly huge to where he can easily destroy those plants. But jungle valves seem to be doing pretty well with them. He's not seeming to chew on them or bite them at all, so I'm thinking we'll probably put some of that in there. Maybe some, and like I said, some crypts again. Probably get some Anubiuses in there as well because those are pretty hardy and easy to take care of as well. And as you can see up here, we have some pretty decent lights up here, so lighting should not be an issue. I think the main challenge here is going to be just to make sure all the filtration just keeps working as it should, and to keep the tank's temperature where it needs to be. Hence kind of why I'm taking my time on making sure I get the right heater for this thing, or probably heaters, because I'm for sure at least getting 2. Depending on which one I get, I might even get 3. Might put one on each corner here and then one right in the middle. Because obviously 510 gallons is a lot of water. And that's a lot to heat up. But I guess, in terms of the overall aquascape cyber, I don't have a full on plan here yet. But definitely think it's going to be something still pretty simple. Just some basic rocks and wood. Something semi-similar to the 240, just not like a branch of wood. Well, outside of that, but something like that, I would presume. Where some areas are going to be somewhat dense, but there's going to be plenty of open space as well. Something along those lines, if that makes sense. Crypt Keeper. Do puffers destroy plants, or can plants go in a puffer tank? They can. It kind of all depends. I learned that sometimes if you get like those ambush predator puffers, like say an example like an arrowhead puffer, who I just did a video on today, or like those red Congo puffers, not the spotted Congo puffers, never mix up those two, or a dragon puffer is another one sometimes. A hairy puffer can be another. Making sure it's starting to change its tone there, making sure it's still lighting up or filling up. But you definitely can put in some plants with your puffers. It's just kind of, I would definitely start on the cheap side if you're giving it a test for a first time, because you'll kind of get an idea. Because if they don't bury themselves in the sand, sometimes they like to bite the leaves and such, just because apparently some aquarists think that it's just a pleasing sensation for the puffers to just feel their teeth go through the plants, which I guess I understand that. I mean, I don't have a salad very often, but if ever I have a Caesar salad, it kind of feels nice, I guess. So that'd be me. But yeah, people have done it. I mean, I used to have live plants in with Finley. I still got live plants in with my Amazons and my Maboo right now, as well as my Powabai puffer right now as we speak. Um, I don't. I used to have some live plants in with my green spotted puffers when I had them in fresh water, but obviously now they're in brackish water, so it's kind of hard to keep plants in a tank that's on the higher end of brackish. And honestly, I keep slowly building it to marine water. I might get it to marine water here yet before too terribly long. But yeah, plants can go in a puffer tank, most definitely. I know, especially like with red eye puffers and pea puffers, people do that a lot. Savvy. These are both of these are just lights I got off Amazon. Let me see if I can. I'm not sure what the brand is. They are Jinhongto, Jinhongto. Amazon had them on sale. They were about like somewhere around 50, $60 a light. So I mean, not overly crazy. It's technically meant for like terrarium plants and all that, but they had like pictures of them like over an aquarium and such. So when I saw that, it's like, well, clearly it must be able to work on aquariums decently to some degree. So yeah, I figured let's go ahead and give these a shot. And I guess all else and these don't work, well, we'll get something else. Hopefully we don't have to, because yeah, it's the most I don't like traditionally spending too much on lights. I'll get enough that does the job, because traditionally on plants right now, I just don't get anything that's crazy. Everything that I get like live plant wise down here is pretty basic and easy to care for. I got a lot of ferns, a lot of Valsinaria, a lot of Anubiuses, some mosses. Pretty simplistic plants, honestly. Mexicali Fish Keeper, how's it going? Welcome aboard. Saying hello to me. Hello right back to you, Mexicali, and all sorts of other awesome folks here that we are fortunate enough to have here in the chat. Danikin, I never cooled it. It got busy in the fish room. I mean, there's always stuff going on down here too. It's not feeling as well. I guess I think I got the hose on a little bit of the lower setting here this time. I might crank it up a little bit here once it gets a little higher. So, well, I might pick up the hose though a little bit too here, so we're not totally pushing the sand all over. Down. Do 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 do. Blake, do you still have the spotted Congo puffers? Unfortunately, Blake, I do not. The two that were showing me, well, the female, unfortunately, got tired of the male, and one night, well, me and the missus were sleeping, and I come back down here in the morning, like I do traditionally, make sure everything's all in order, everything's all good, and the male is like, he barely even has a back fin anymore. I mean, overnight, the female just absolutely shredded him. Apparently, she just had enough of him. I put him in a hospital tank for a while, tried to heal him up, and unfortunately, he just succumbed to his injuries, which he was pretty beaten up, to put it gently. I was kind of surprised he lasted as long as he did. Tried to give him all the medicines and such to heal up wounds and such, and unfortunately, he He just also never started eating again, which is never a good sign with any fish, let alone puffers. And then the female, while me and my wife were on our honeymoon this is a little over a year ago. I'm not fully sure because I was actually away from home when this happened, but I'm suspecting that one of the snails went on the heater and such. Obviously, puffers love to eat a snail, and they somehow she bit the glass heater in there. Hence why I don't do glass heaters with my bigger puffers anymore. Pea puffers, Amazon puffers, and red eye puffers, they're not going to damage a glass heater. But some of those bigger ones, like the spotted Congo, especially if a haka or a Maboo, yeah, I don't do glass anymore because they do have big enough chompers that can do some big damage. But unfortunately, yeah, I came back from me and my wife's honeymoon. The puffer, unfortunately, she was already on the verge of death. She was barely hanging on. However, when I got home, the tank's temperature, ladies and gentlemen, 96 degrees. So, yeah, that heater got jacked up a little while ago. Like that was jacked up for a few days. Because the water, I mean, when you're almost touching 100 degrees, I mean, there's some fish that do like it hot, but not many fish are going to like that temperature. If any, really. 96 is hot. So, yeah, unfortunately, Blake, that's what happened to the spotted Congo puffers. It's a very unfortunate end, but you know what? It taught me a lesson. Bigger puffers, don't do a glass heater. Don't take a shortcut on that. So, ever since then, that's why, even in here, yeah, I'm going to be doing titanium heaters 100%. Because if it happens one time, all right, learn from it. If it happens a second time, shame on you. Should have learned the first time then. Or at least that's my own code with myself anyway. Yeah, long explanation, but yeah, that's what happened. George RB3, good to see you, George. Saying hello, back at you. Hope you're having a good evening, night, whatever it is for you. Crypt Keeper, what is the largest variety of puffer I've ever kept, and what's the smallest? Well, obviously, I just started with one initially, and the first ever freshwater puffer I ever kept was pea puffers. And I've said it a dozen times. I'll say it plenty times more, including here now again. To anyone that's ever considering getting into freshwater puffer keeping, the pea puffer is by far my number one suggestion of like, if you've never kept a puffer before, that's the one you start with. They still pack that big personality. They don't need a very big tank. You don't have to worry about their teeth. So yeah, that was the first puffer I ever did, and I think it was a very good entry level to kind of give me a taste like, okay, here's where you need to keep their water parameters at, and, give you a good feeling about some other things that are very important with all other puffers, while not have to worry about some other things. And then when you're ready to take the step up, my second different kind of puffer was Finley. But to answer your question without rambling too much here, Crypt, I think I was once up to, oh goodness, it was double digits. I know that 100%. About a year ago this time or so, it was up to double digits. I think the most puffers I've ever kept was, I want to say 12 or 13. But I don't know. Having that many puffers, I mean, the fact is, puffers take a lot of commitment, and they do take a little bit of work. Because, I mean, you got to keep a little bit of a tighter eye on their water parameters. They're not as sensitive as a lot of people make them out to be, but you still got to watch their water nonetheless. But, I mean, yeah, that's the main thing. I think, I want to say 12 was the most I've ever had down here, Crypt. And then unfortunately, some of the puffers I just rehome to people otherwise, because in the end, 12 is just too much. And who knows, I might get back up to that level again, but I mean, I have 8 or 7 right now. I'd have to sit and think about it for a second, but I even think that's quite a bit. Like, honestly, I mean, I'm going to let all these puffers live out their lives and such, but I mean, at some point, I mean, yeah, puffers, they do require a little extra work than some other fish would. So, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to go back at the 12 for a while. I'm happy with the puffers I have right now. Finley, Chief, the Amazons, figure eights, green spotteds, the red eyes, Mac my Maboo, Roger the Powabye. I mean, I think that's all of the puffers. So they're all fun, but yeah, after a while, I mean, some I rehomed, some unfortunately just died because, confessingly, I just didn't have the time nor the energy to give every single one of them the work that they demanded. And unfortunately, I mean, as much as I would love to keep as many puffers as there are out there, there's also a responsibility to it. And that was a sign that, hey, I got to pump the brakes and care for fewer puffers. Like, honestly, once all these puffers live out their lives and such, probably going to still let this number go down just a wee bit yet. But still going to care for every puffer here right now because I still love them all like crazy. Easily my favorite fish. Let's see here. Crypt. Again, do you prefer the larger types or the smaller types? It kind of depends. Like, I love pea puffers. Pea puffers are awesome. Pea puffers are amazing. Someday, I definitely want to get some down here again. In fact, more sooner than later, I want to get some down here again. I will say with the bigger ones that should their teeth grow a little bit long, it is easier to kind of trim those. That, I mean, the bigger ones like Finley and Mac, it kind of gives you a little more options, in my personal opinion, or at least based on the area I live in, to give all sorts of variety of crunchy crustaceans and shelled foods and such to, give them stuff to trim down their beak-like teeth and such. And I don't know. I would say slightly towards the big ones, but I do kind of like the bigger or the small ones too because, I mean, when you think about it, a lot of the smaller ones, like, when you think about it, figure eights, green spotted puffers, Amazon puffers, pea puffers, red eye puffers. I mean, just talking about those 5 by itself, or spotted Congo puffers. Well, spotted Congo puffers are kind of a medium-sized puffer. But even then, I mean, some of the smaller-sized puffers, you can usually keep multiple of its species in a tank. A Fahaka, on the other hand, you can. I've seen some people do it, but I personally wouldn't recommend it. There are some people that have success with it, though, so it's not impossible. Like I say, I personally just don't recommend it. But I mean, a lot of those smaller puffers can also show with a lot of their different kinds. So I will say that's a plus for that side. Yeah, I don't know. I think the big ones are slightly more fun to care for, but they're all pretty cool. So I would say just a pinch of an advantage overall, bigger puffers. Crypt again. Trim the teeth. Yes, I have done that before with my Amazons, my figure eights, and my green spotteds. Fortunately, I have not had to do that with any other puffers, but they are surprisingly picky eaters. My green spotted puffers sometimes like snails, but they're very picky on the size. If it's too big of a snail, they'll just cheat and go for the meat rather than actually crunch down the shell, which is the whole reason why you give a puffer a snail. But yeah, that's kind of the main thing. But to answer your other question, no. So far, I've never get bit or have gotten bit. And if I'm going to be open and honest, I don't want to. Getting bit would not be fun, especially if it's a bigger one. Like if it's Finley or a full-grown Maboo, you could lose a finger. Well, Finley's not quite big enough where she'd probably take a chunk out of your finger. I don't know if she'd bite the whole thing off, but I mean, a big enough Maboo, like if you're talking like the size of like Ladybird or Murphy with aquarium co-op, if they get you just right, they probably could. Or in the very least, they could do some serious damage. But no, I'm very happy to say thus far, any of my puffers, I have never been bit, and I hope that never changes. Let's see, how's this looking? We're back to about the halfway point. We're going to crank up this water pressure just a little bit here. Get my pump ready as well. I am thinking we're going to go ahead and get this going here tonight. And yeah, there's the pump. It pumps about 1,500 gallons of oxygen per hour, or at least that's what it said earlier. It's got 6 ports on here. As you can see, I've already attached some hoses. So yeah, we'll get that going here tonight too. Start aerating the tank as well. Get some surface agitation and such. Actually, let's not throw that in just yet. All right, there we go. There's all that. Ooh, that hose is a little brittle. We might cut a little bit of that off. Little hose is not a good deal. There we go, another air stone. I could have swore I had more than just 2 down here. I'm going to put this on full around as I look for some air stones here. Not putting the sponge filters in tonight. I want that to keep soaking up some beneficial bacteria from our 240, which is going to kind of help us jumpstart this tank. But still probably going to take a couple weeks to fully get this thing ready, which is all right. I'm not in too big of a hurry, honestly, with this. I'm very excited to get it going, and I don't want to take too long, but oh, you get the point. Still not going to rush it. When you rush things, especially in this hobby, that's how bad things happen. There we go. Another air stone. That's nice. Need another one though. Thrown down here. No idea what I did with the fill. Ah, there you are. I'm kind of happy to see that stain on the bottom. I hope it stays down there, honestly. I'm not going to mess with this with a knife, though. Vibes Aquatics, how's it going? Crypt Keeper, yeah. Everyone in the chat, be ready to tell Awesome when it's about full. Appreciate that, Crypt. Yeah, we don't want it to overflow. That is for sure. That would be messy. But yeah, Vibes saying I made it, dropping all that fire. Appreciate you, Vibes. Coming on in here, spending a little time with us again here today. I believe I saw you at the Musings afternoon stream as well. Appreciate you coming in here, double dipping. I hear my phone just randomly called somebody. That was weird. There we go. That was really weird. Phone just randomly called someone. That's very weird. Robots, man. Robots. Damn things. Vibes is done with the water changes. Whoop woo! Good for you. I know that feeling. That's a very pleasant feeling. 20 tanks on top of it. Heck yeah, I'll get a small hand for that. That's impressive. That's a lot of water changes. Like I do my water changes. I spread them out. Like I'll do like 3 or 4 one day, same thing. Another 3 or 4 the next day. I'll spread them out like between 3 to 4 days total of doing all the water changes. That way, it's not as hard, especially when you start throwing a 125, a 150, and a 240 in the mix, and soon now here a 510-gallon tank. Yeah, it's those bigger tanks take a lot of energy, man. There we go. Do. Debs, don't think I said hi to you earlier. Welcome aboard, Debs. Good to see you here. Debs, Aqua Pets, as always. Crypt. Honestly, that's a good question. Well, let me see here. Get my calculator, and we can figure this out very quickly. let's see, we got the 240 plus a 20-gallon long plus a 20 hex plus 240 breeders plus a 36 plus, what's next to the 36? That's empty. A 29 plus a 46 bow plus a 10-gallon plus a 54 corner bow plus 125 plus Finley's 150 plus Chief's 50 corner plus a 55 plus 38 plus 275s. Don't think I'm forgetting the tank. And I guess once we add this 510 to the mix, oh, I did forget a tank actually. Add that on there. There you go. Let's kill that light for a second. That'll be the total gallons I have in the fish room currently then. 1,640 will be the amount of gallons I have down here. And that's not including the, of course, the 185 that we're going to be working on here. I mean, once we add the 185, I got a 75 hex that's also getting worked on. Well, hopefully we'll be able to be fixed. We'll see. Oh, yeah, and that amount's only going to go up, too, Crypt. I mean, honestly, I'm already thinking about maybe making another plywood tank for Finley. I mean, initially I wanted to give her a 180 because she's okay in her 150, but I'm a person that, yeah, I don't want to give my fish a tank that's just okay. I want to give them a tank that, you know, they're not going to just survive. They're going to thrive. That's what I want to do. And yep, Crypt, I promise, I am keeping an eye on it. And just so everybody knows for the record, there's about another 3 or so inches up above this board here. So we are going to let it go a little bit past that. So do keep that in mind. Once it's above the board, though, yeah, it is going. It is going to go a little bit above the board, not totally up above the holes and such, but yeah, there's about 2.5, 3 inches of 2x4 there yet. So we are going to let the water go a little bit above that. Chattanooga Ed, welcome aboard, Ed. Seeing you here for the second time today. Good to see you. Oh, Ed, I can't remember if I said it in my past stream, but tell you what, I think you and I did pretty well on our football picks on the Friday Night Lights show. I want to say you and I both went 4-0, man. Because, yeah, I picked the Bengals to win. I picked the Bengals, to beat the Bills. I think we both picked the 49ers to beat the Cowboys. I'm trying to remember the other games right now. And I can't right now, but yeah. Oh, yeah, the Eagles beat the Giants. And what the heck was the first game? Oh, yeah, and then your Chiefs beat the Jaguars. So, yeah, I want to say, Ed, that, yeah, you and I went 4-0 this week. If my mind serves correctly. I know that's who I picked. I think you pretty much picked all the same teams as I did. I mean, there's only 4 games, so not hard to do. That would be fun, Ed. Honestly, I've kind of pondered the thought myself, honestly. I mean, being a sports writer and all that, I mean, I kind of follow sports closely anyway. I have considered about starting like a little sports channel and such, but I don't know. Doing all of this and then the sports reporting and then everything else I do, like I do a little bit of woodworking. I do a little bit of I like to do yard work and such in the spring and summer as well. I mean, just all that considered, it's just, I don't know. I don't want to burn myself out either, you know? I think a sports YouTube channel would also be really fun. Like, I'd probably talk mostly about football because that's just the kind of sport I love to watch. But not that I dislike basketball. Like, I love basketball. I love hockey. Baseball, I've just never gotten super into. I mean, I'm always down to go to a game. Same thing with soccer. I'm always down to go to a game, but I don't know. If you're going to talk me into watching something live on TV, I mean, my top three sports that I would love to watch on TV: football, college basketball. I could really give a hoot less about the NBA. I mean, I'll watch it occasionally, but and then hockey. It can be college hockey, NHL hockey. I love hockey. I guess overall, though, I would rather watch hockey of any sort over the NBA. So, but college basketball, I'd rather watch than hockey. And in terms of football, honestly, I have no preference. I'll watch the NFL. I'll watch college. The USFL is doing another league again this year for year number 2. I'm sure I'll be watching plenty of those games. Yeah, that'd be fun, Ed. We'll have to do a sports channel, all of us together, and we can kind of own it together. And if it gets gigantic, yeah, that would be awesome. Make a little, make a little change here on the side with what we do here for the fish. And hey, maybe we can do something big. I mean, I got a friend that does a sports cast honestly in Kansas City. That he loves talking about the Sporting KC soccer team, the Chiefs. He'll talk about the St. Louis Blues. Dude's a huge Blues fan. But, I mean, yeah, they're fun to do. I'd totally be down. That's fair, Crypt. I mean, I will definitely say that there are some sports that are 100% better live. Like, I mean, I like watching hockey on TV, but it's way more fun watching it in person. I'm okay with watching some NBA on TV, but I mean, if you're asking me to watch a football game, basketball, or any sort of game on TV versus actually going there to the stadium or arena, whatever. Oh, yeah, I'd rather go watch it live every single time. Every single time. But I mean, yeah, in person, it really is a whole other story. Hey, there we go. We got 3 of the sports folks here. Now all we need to do is get Skipper on over here. Skipper or Rico? It'd be pretty late for Rico. I think he's an hour ahead of me. And right now, let's see. It's, according to my clock, it is getting really close to 11:30 here. Goodness, we've already done over 45 minutes of the stream. Three, 6, 7, 5 here. Oof. Yeah, it's getting a little late here, but it's all right. I'm a night owl, so I can do it. Yep. Well put, Ed. There's the boss. Crypt, I will definitely say that. I mean, partially, I'm a sports reporter, so it's kind of my job to be like that, but I am more entertained watching local school football in person than professional football on TV. I mean, that is true. I'm definitely always down to go watch. I mean, I love watching high school football. I'm always a little bummed out or a little sad whenever the high school football season comes to a close. I mean, fortunately, we have a very good community college here that plays pretty dang good football too. That always has like half the team go play Division I football later. And I mean, junior college football, it may not get the attention or attendance like some other ones do, but I mean, especially when you get to like the community college that we're very fortunate to have, then I mean, Ed, I'll get to him in a minute, but I mean, I'd hope not, Ed. I'd hope not, but jeez. Oh, I'm sorry, but that caught me off guard a little bit. But I mean, yeah, high school football, there is something about it. It's really, really cool. And then like seeing them go off and do stuff in college too, it feels really good knowing sometimes like, like Max Duggan here in Council Bluffs that went and did, what he did at TCU. I mean, he played here in Council Bluffs, and just to know it's like, yeah, I watched that kid when he was in high school or even covered a game. It's like, it's a pretty cool feeling. So I'm right there with you, Crip. But Chattanooga Ed, God bless it, man. Yeah, Rico and Skipper, both on the East Coast. I'm sure they're in bed, but not together. But, well, I mean, if that's their taste, that's their taste. But that doesn't seem like them. So I say good. Kenny, thanks for that mental image, Ed. It's kind of what I was thinking. Oh, that's great. Oh, no. Crap. Oh, man. What if Skipper is wearing Rico leggings? That means they're technically. Oh, man. Yeah, there you go. The mental image now of yeah, Skipper and Rico in bed with Skipper wearing Rico's leggings. Sweet Lord Almighty. Surf City Cichlids, how's it going? Saying howdy, fantastic, and evening, everyone. Oh, this chat's getting out of hand, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, God. Skipper's life was. Oh, man, we're taking it to a new level here tonight. Oh, goodness. And Peplin. Oh, goodness. Skipper's on top, 100%. Right? Oh, jeepers. That's fantastic. That's awesome. Oh, geez. Vanoski, how's it going? Welcome aboard. You're just in time to see this stream unravel with all the craziness going on in the chat. Check back through and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Debs, yeah, I think we got out of hand a few minutes ago. Let's see. Actually, yeah, Crypt, that's a pretty good estimate. About an inch and a half, 2 hours, inch and a half to 2 inches of water until it hits the board. Yeah, that's pretty close. Ed says, I would get a pair of Rico leggings, but they cost too much. I don't want to get a pair of Rico leggings just because my ass don't look good in leggings. I'll just be upfront and honest. Leggings are not my look. I do like sweatpants. I guess they're somewhat similar, but I don't know. I don't think leggings would be a very good look on me. Excuse me. Well, my wife loves leggings, so she might be into it. But oh man, that would be perfect. Get my wife some Rico Stand leggings, and if we do make it to the Keystone Clash, then yeah, my wife wears the Rico leggings because I'm pretty sure Rico's planning on being there. I mean, it's September, a lot can happen, but September is when the Keystone Clash is, and of course it's January now. Hence, yeah, a lot can happen. But I mean, yeah, that'd be hilarious. Go to the Keystone Clash when you hopefully finally meet Rico, if we make it up there. Then yeah, my wife can be wearing the Rico Stand leggings, and boom, we're off on the right foot just like that. Crypt, I'm pretty similar, but I do like sweatpants as well. Jeans are usually what I wear to work, or cargo, short pants, cargo or khaki, whatever the heck you want to call them. To work on summer days because it does get pretty hot and humid here. Sometimes in late spring to early mid fall here. All through the summer, it's almost constantly either mid 70s to lower 90s. It stays pretty warm here usually. But basketball shorts, that's another one I like to do if I'm just lounging around doing stuff around in the house or down here in the fish room. I mean, I'm wearing basketball shorts right now. In the house here, I love basketball shorts, and I'm not too picky. I don't need Under Armour. I don't need Nike and all that. I'm perfectly fine with going to Walmart and buying the and ones. I'm perfectly fine doing that. I could give a hoot about the brands. I know. Some of the high schoolers may give you grief about it, like, huh, he got the and ones. I don't care. They, yeah, they feel just like the Nikes would, or the Air Jordans and all that. And yeah, not quite crypt. It hasn't quite hit the board. It's about like let's see, about a quarter of an inch off, but she's very, very close. Vibes Aquatics, taking a shower and going to bed. Thanks, Austin, for the live stream. Heading out. Appreciate you, Vibes. Have a nice shower. Have a nice sleep. And yeah, thanks for coming by here. Well, I'm sure some point here tonight here too, we'll go ahead and I'll probably do another stream here at some point down the line here about setting stuff up here because I got to set up the filtration and all that jazz yet. I might do a few more bags of sand in here. Honestly, for the sand level, I don't think it needs a whole lot more if I do put more in there. It's about the level I want it, but I'll probably, when I find some more pool filter sand on sale, I'll probably go ahead and indulge into it. Did give it and the Sweet Dreams vibes, 2 vibes. Uh-oh. Daggone it. Shoot. I minimized my screen. Okay, it's still up. Okay, it is still up. Cool. Kenny. Oh, Walmart special shorts. How's those Nikes treating you? Oh, hey, it don't make no difference. The wife don't mind me, but if it's Nikes, Air Jordans, or just the cheap and ones, or the Target brand, whatever the hell that is. They all feel the same. I don't give a crap. As long as they're comfortable and they don't look super crazy, that's all I care. All right. It has eclipsed the board, so I'm going to see where we're at here real quick. All right. We got another 2 inches yet before that gets to about where we want it to be. So we'll give it about another 5 minutes or so, give or take, somewhere around that. Yeah, normally there's time on YouTube streams. Yeah, there sometimes is. Like, I know my chat here gets a little bit behind here too on because I'm streaming from StreamYard, as you can all probably see with the little watermark there, or at least it's there for me. But yeah, it lags a little bit here too. It's not too bad. I want to say it's about I watched like when I watched it from the initial stream and the other one, I think it's about it's about a 5 to 10 second differential. It's not too bad. All right, we're already about to hit an hour. Goodness. All right, real quick, just to make sure this is going at the rate I thought it was. Oh yeah, we're plenty good yet. We're plenty good yet. And that top is looking considerably cleaner than last time. Or the surface of the water, that is, when I talk about the top. That little wood pieces can break off that. That I don't care. go. It's not as cold as it was last time, the water. That's good. No. There we go. Hey, there's one of my awesome moderators right there. Matt, Liquid Zoo. How's it going? The battle goes well. In fact, we almost got her full. She's got about another 1.5 inch to go here before she's full. So it seems like the battle goes well. You really do have an awesome cat, Ed. I love seeing shorts on Nico and such. Those are always fun. Danikin, Kenny, thank you so much, man. $5 super chat. Thanks, Hank is looking amazing. Very jelly. Yeah, it's tell you what, you'd be a lot less jealous if you had to lift it though, Kenny. Trust me on that part. Yeah, it's you look at it this way, and I'm sure when it's all done though, it's it makes it all worth it. You know what? We're starting to touch the middle brace there. I'm gonna call that good. Yep, we're gonna go ahead and shut her off there. And ladies and gentlemen, that right there is what I love to see. Our wood is staying submerged. I am super pleased to see that. Ugh. Why didn't I move more of these buckets, dang on it? All right. There we go. Let the hose drain out a little bit before I roll it back all up. There we go. Problem is this hose has gotten a little cold and such, so. Oh, Ed, I mean, if you get a big tank like this, I mean, just imagine all the guppies you could put in here and all the color that'd be swimming around. Basically exactly what Crypt's saying here. I mean, knowing you, Ed, and how you love your live bears, I mean, this would be a kick butt live bear tank for you, man. Fill it up with mollies. Well, I guess you're more into guppies and such, so yeah. You probably wouldn't want to put swordtails in there. Mollies might even be a little big, but that hose got a little cold. I'm going to let that thing thaw out a little bit so it'll fold up a little bit better. Okay. We'll go a little bit longer here yet. Hey, Bob, how's it going? Killers Aquatics and Reptiles coming in here. Good to see you, Bob. Don't think I saw you earlier. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't. But trout goodies. All right. Honestly, if I was not putting my Maboo puffer in here, I would either, my top 3 choices otherwise would be, I would either, one, probably move Finley in here. Or, I mean, that would be my first next choice, but my top 2 choices otherwise, I would probably put Stingrays in here and Arowanas. That'd probably be the 2. That'd be the other combination I'd do in here otherwise if I was not putting Maboo puffer in here. I would be putting in some sort of Arowana. Probably, I don't know, maybe 2 of them. Yeah, probably 2. Definitely wouldn't want to do anything more than that. And then put some stingrays at the bottom. If I wasn't putting the Maboo puffer in, yeah, that's probably what I would do. I'm not sure on what kind of stingrays though. I'm not I've done a little research on them because someday I definitely want to keep stingrays. I definitely want to give them a try. Problem is, 1, holy crap, are they expensive? 2, holy crap, do they get big? Since 3, holy crap, they need a huge tank. But someday, definitely going to give it a shot. Stingrays, I see them in the fish store all the time, and every time I see them, I'm like, one of these days, I'm going to get a stingray or stingrays. I definitely want to give it a shot someday. Dev's Aquapets. I've actually thought about maybe getting some rummy nose tetras in here from when I get the Maboo in here because, at least as of right now, he hasn't really attacked any of the mid or higher level swimming fish. He will, however, so far has been pretty predatorial to anything on the bottom, like bottom dwellers and such, like snails, shrimp, little crayfish and all that. He's been very predatorial and goes after them with very little hesitation. So I don't think I'm going to put anything that hangs out towards the bottom here. So no cories, no loaches, no plecos are going in here. Because chances are that wouldn't end very well for the bottom dweller. Especially when Matt gets bigger. But rummy nose tetras are definitely something that I was thinking would be really, really cool. That's just me anyway. But yeah, I think it'd be really cool to go ahead and put in like a huge school of tetras. Like when I talk huge school, I'm talking at least like 50 of these things. Like, I don't know, maybe 50 rummy noses, 50 cardinals and such. Something like that. I don't know. I'm just throwing numbers out there right now. I don't know. Maybe do that amount. Maybe we don't do quite that amount. Maybe we even do a little bit more. I don't know. I haven't thought too deep into it yet because, well, there's still some steps we got to do to set this up here yet. But rummy noses I think would look cool. I really like Emperor tetras. The only problem is with Emperor tetras, they have that like little fork back tail fin and that long and they have like that little fin in the middle that's kind of resembles like what a swordtail is. It gets a little long and a little wavy in the water. And my worry would be that'd be all too alluring for a Maboo puffer to check it out with a little chomp. And of course we don't want that. I also want to keep the fish relatively small. So that way when Matt gets like, 1.5 to 2 foot or bigger, that it's a fish that's so small that he's just going to be like, yeah, you're too small. You're not even worth my time to even start considering his food. And, once we give him like the half clams and the crayfish and all that, the little pieces that fly in the water, the little tetras can, help clean up the mess. Thus make the filter's job, a little bit easier, ideally. Cryptokeeper, yeah, Congo tetras are super cool too. That's probably a top 5 favorite tetra for me. I got a group of 4 Congo tetras in my angelfish community tank and the 125 over there. The only tetra I think I would for sure put ahead of a Congo tetra would be a diamond tetra. The diamond tetras, those things just sparkle like, well, diamonds, hence why they have the name. Diamond tetras, arguably my favorite tetra, but Congos are definitely up there in the top. Actually, I'd say Congos are top 3 for me, for sure. Like, I would definitely say I definitely wouldn't put them anywhere in the anywhere below 3rd for sure. What was that? Before I go check this out here, but Bob Kaler, thank you so much for the $10 super sticker. Greatly appreciate it, man. Can't really see what it is. It's a okay. Looking on my other screen here, it's a hippo falling out of his chair. That's actually kind of a funny sticker. Thank you very much, Bob. Greatly appreciate it, man. Guys, something a little weird went on over in the 75. I'll be right back. Oh, that's what it was. Oh no, our goldfish fell. That's what it was. Did that stupid thing fall again? No, it didn't. Okay, we're good. Yep, we're good. Oh, there we go. Goldfish just fell off the side of the washer and went right into the sink. Just fell right into the. I gotta keep an eye on that stuff though sometimes because, unfortunately, well, I don't like talking about this too much, but unfortunately, I have caught a bat down here a couple times, or well, not a couple times, but once. And I tell you what, it was actually while I was recording a video. So whenever I see something like fall or move swiftly out of the corner of my eye, I quickly get like, what was that? Because obviously bats and fish, you can understand why that's a little concerning. But well, I always tell the people, or I told my wife the one time there too, as well as some family, it's like, oh, if there is a bat that gets down here, I tell you what, that bat better pick the tank wisely, or it may be its last mistake if it doesn't. We got some very highly carnivorous fish down here. I mean, puffers, exodon tetras. I mean, Mac would be big enough. My arrowhead puffer would definitely be big enough. Finley is more than big enough to take down a bat and probably eat it if she wanted to, if she got it in the water. I mean, I got some knife fish that would probably do some damage. So yeah, it's like I say. Well, if a bat ever gets down here again, it better and wants to pick a fish out of it. It better pick wisely, or it might be its last mistake. Pet reviewer, I see you there, buddy. Ask a quick question. You most definitely may. Feeding the arrowhead puffer. Do I need to remove the shell of the shrimp before feeding it to the puffer? No. Honestly, that shell can be actually very beneficial to the puffer. That'll help trim down its beak-like teeth. So, no, actually, it's perfectly fine if you keep the shell on there because you want the hard, crunchy foods to trim down their teeth and such. And that's actually perfectly fine if you keep that on there. Whoop. No. Ooh, I almost hit the leave the studio button. Yikes. Absolutely, pet reviewer. I mean, hey, that's why we do these things. We're all in this together, trying to help each other out. Absolutely. Chattanooga Ed, I found a drowned bat in my pool on the 4th of July last year. Yeesh. Yeah, that's scary. I mean, the problem was, the only reason why the one bat freaked me out was because, I was recording a video and the stupid thing while I was recording hit me on my right hand here. I mean, its wing just brushed it. So, unfortunately, the poor thing fell to the ground here and such. I mean, it kind of made it easier to catch it, I guess, because the little bugger was having a little hard time flying. But I got it. We still caught it safely, caught it alive and such, and we went ahead and sent it to the Humane Society, who sent it far, far away. And they supposedly got his wing healed up and such. They said it just looked like when you hit it, you just knocked it for a little bit of a loose or a little bit for a loop, and it was perfectly fine. So yeah. That's very possible, though, Bob. We do have a little bit of a creek that's not too far away from the house. That's very possible. I'm surprised, though, that, I do hear bats outside occasionally. I'm surprised I hear them as much as I do, though. Because, we do have a couple of owls out here too. And owls don't mind taking down some bats for dinner once in a while. So sometimes I'm kind of surprised that bats try to, hang around here. I mean, we have a heavily treed area, so I guess I'm not overly surprised. But I mean, I don't know. Ed, honestly, I'm not one way or the other. Bats are very beneficial to the environment for sure. Getting rid of a whole bunch of pest insects and such, much like frogs and other critters out there. So absolutely. But I don't know. I'm not one way or another on bats. I don't love them by any means whatsoever. But I don't hate them either because they do serve a very important purpose. That's very possible though, Bob, because yeah, we do have a creek nearby and a little forested area too. So yeah, it's very possible. I mean, we also sometimes outside get those like beetles or stink bugs sometimes. Fortunately, we don't have to deal with too many of those in the house because man, I hate those bugs. But I mean, I don't. It's not that I'm afraid of bugs. My wife hates those things way more than I do. But I mean, I just don't. I don't want bugs in the house. It's not clean. It's dirt. It makes you feel dirty. Ooh, Ed had a snapping turtle get in the pool. Yikes. Hopefully you recognized it was in the pool before you were in the pool. But I don't think I've ever seen a snapping turtle in the wild up here. Probably gets way too cold, but I have seen those on like videos before. Those snapping turtles, yeesh. Those things are gnarly. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't even imagine like, man. Crazy. Couldn't figure out where the turtle came from. Yeah, I mean, a fence area too. I mean, now we're not a fenced area by all means. I mean, 2.5 acres would be a lot to fence. I mean, honestly, we're probably closer to 3 acres than we are even 2.5. We're slightly over 2.5. Whatever. But either way, I mean, yeah, and we don't have a fence, frankly. I mean, well, we have a fence on one side because neighbors like to let their German shepherds do whatever they so pleased for a while. Until about after the first year, we started calling police and such and be like, hey, here's the thing. German shepherds are a very big dog. I'd kind of appreciate it if you kept them on your own yard, especially since you have 2 acres yourself. But I don't know. Don't know why it took them a while to get that across, but oh, Ed, just your pool is fenced in. Well, yeah, that's even crazier. Wonder if the little guy just like dug under the fence or something. Sometimes those turtles can burrow. Well, not burrow, but they can dig, Not necessarily burrow, but they can dig. Oh, by law, yeah, you have to fence it. Ugh. Makes sense. Old Chief over here lurking and such right beside me. There's the old arrowhead puffer right there. Well, you can kind of see him. Yeah, you were lurking. All of a sudden, I bring the camera out, and you aren't so eager to come out anymore, are you? Silly puffer. He's about full grown, too, by the way. As a pet reviewer there came in here earlier, yeah, I did go ahead and make a little care tip video on arrowhead puffers. So if you're a little curious to know a little bit more about them, definitely feel free to check out that video if you want. And if it doesn't interest you, that's fine. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and grab that link here too, just in case anybody wants to check that out here, because I'm not 100% if we I'm not 100%. There we go. If we have a moderator in here. I know I saw Matt earlier. I'm not sure if he's still here. I'll go ahead and drop it in here quick. There we go. If anybody's interested in seeing the latest video, just dropped today, by the way. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Matt is still here. Welcome. Oh, never mind, Matt. Duo? Suo? To anyone that wants to, yeah, there you go. That's the link to the Arrowhead Puffer Care Guide video. Like I said, just dropped it here earlier today. I'm gonna try to get a little update video on this 510 here later, because well, I know not all my viewers like to watch all these live streams and such. So I'll probably put some new bits of information in here too. That way, so all of you that have come by and watched these streams can still get new bits of information and such. But yeah, basically catch up all the other people, because I know some of my followers just don't like to sit back and watch all of them. Chattanooga Ed, as far as my knowledge goes, yes. And technically the correct word is toxin, but poisonous. Either way, it's not good to eat. So, yes, I mean, a specially trained chef, which has a very specific license for fugu, as they call the dish, in order to do it. Because, I mean, yeah, unfortunately, if you ingest a puffer toxin, well, let me just put it this way. Tetrodotoxin, the toxin that's found in pretty much all puffers' bodies or skins and such, is about, let's just say it's about 1,000 times more lethal than cyanide. So yeah, good luck dealing with that. Hence why I'll never eat pufferfish. But as far as I know, Ed, I believe they all are. Like freshwater puffers, brackish water puffers, or puffers you would get in the ocean. Yeah, I believe they all are, Ed. Hence why I just don't know why some people would want to do that. Just taking the risk. Because I think even with the highly trained chefs, I think you still got to sign like a waiver or something. It's just like, I'm sorry. If I have to sign a waiver to eat food, you probably shouldn't be eating it. But I don't know. That's me. I don't know. If you have to sign a waiver to officially place the order, you might want to rethink the order. I'm just saying. like wings and such. If the sauce is so hot to where it's like, well, it can cause blisters on the tongue and such, where it might be like, well, of course, some fish's metabolisms or digestive systems run differently than humans, but pea puffers, I mean, who knows? I'm kind of surprised, though, the angel didn't die because of the puffer like inflating inside the angel or something, but maybe fish are built a little bit different. Maybe not all puffers are. I guess I haven't done a ton of homework on that, so I don't know 100%. But I do believe to some degree every puffer does have the toxin in their body. Maybe different amounts. I'm not fully sure, but I don't know. Like I say, though, maybe fish's digestive systems, immune systems work differently than ours. I'm sure they do, but because I mean, well, they're a much different kind of critter than we are. But I don't know. I'm not that big of an expert as how that all goes down exactly. Ooh, it is creeping up to midnight here in Old Council Bluffs, Iowa. Wow, really, Ed? I would have thought that would have been the other way around, honestly. Because those pea puffers sometimes, they act a lot bigger than they actually are. But I can also see why the angels would be aggressive too, especially if you got some bigger angels, like especially Altums. Woo, Altums can be mean sometimes. I mean, I guess they are a cichlid still, so I mean, yeah, you're going to get a little bit of aggression because that's just a cichlid nature. But I'm kind of surprised though, because yeah, those pea puffers sometimes, they, man, those things, like I say, they can be mean sometimes too, and they act way bigger than they actually are. They act like they're this big, mean, gnarly fish when they're only about the size of your thumbnail. Huh. Oh, let's see. See, checking through the chat, Yes, making sure we don't forget everybody. There's Bob's super sticker. Appreciate that again, Bob. Also appreciate Danikin for the $5 super chat earlier. All sorts of awesome folks in here today. I wouldn't have imagined that either, Ed. I mean, pea puffers can still inflate themselves just like any other puffer. So the fact that you say, I mean, one, you had to have some massive angels, like some absolutely huge angels for them to pull that off, because that or the pea puffers had to be really small or young still. Because I mean, if they're very young yet, then yeah, they're super little tiny critters. But I mean, I don't know, one of those. I mean, if they inflate themselves and like even the inside the angel, I would imagine that could, if the toxin wouldn't kill an angelfish, I would think them inflating inside the fish or like in a fish's mouth even could really do some damage. So I'm kind of surprised that that they just devoured them like you said there. That seems crazy. I've never heard of such a thing before. Let's see here. Well, final thing we're gonna do here for tonight, we're gonna go ahead and hook up our air pump to this tank. Let's see here. Where's my final air bar? There's the longest stringer. Wait, no, there's a longer one than that. Where are you at? There it is. Ooh, that's a long beastie. Ooh, I might have to get my scissors. Oh yeah, that's the one that's a little bit brittle. Be right back. Or actually, I might have a pair of scissors down here. Do I? Rats. I do not. All right, I'll be back. All right, where this hose starts softening up at? Right around there, because I don't want to cut off more than I actually have to. There we go. Still had to cut off about a foot of that though. Yeesh. Oh, itchy nose. Yikes. Oh, come on, let go of that. No tip. Upright. Upright, you son of a beast. Please don't make my hand get wet. Oh, come on. Oh, you son of a biscuit. Sit down. There you go. Oh, whatever. my one air stone. I'm trying to. No, actually, I'm gonna fly you all the way over there. There we go. That works for me. We'll situate these all later because honestly, I'm probably going to get some decorative bubblers in here later. All right. Take squeeze. What is it, Emperor's New Groove? You know, it's a good thing that I'm not a fat guy, or this would be really difficult. Is that the quote? Something like that? Good Lord, that baby's got some power. There we go, guys. She's getting air. That pump, though. Crikey, that thing is. That thing's got some power. That thing's. There we go. Man, that thing's got some power. All right. There's actually 2 more ports on there that we can connect to this tank too if we want to. I'm for sure going to use at least 4. I'm sure we'll probably, I don't know. I might even put the pump like over there. That way I can even take off the one from Finley's tank and just put some over there as well. Because that pump has plenty of power. You can probably hear it buzzing up there too. Oh, Ed, I wouldn't say that. What's the one comedian always say? Can't think of his name, but no, you ain't that. You're fluffy. Or I think one even said, like, nah, I'm just built for cuddling. Looks good. Thank you, Ed. I think it looks good too. It'll look a lot better once we actually have something other than air stones in here. But you know, this way we're getting air into this tank here. There's a 4th one like way over there yet, but we'll we'll get some more figured out here later. Like in terms of like decorative bubblers and such, and like some, of course, we'll get the 2 sponge filters in there. So that'll also be another thing. I don't know. I've been debating about maybe getting a 3rd sponge filter in here. I don't know. We'll see how the 2 do with the filter here that we have otherwise. We'll see how all that goes before we make a decision on that. But yeah, there's Chief again. I know the moment I bring the camera over, you're going to wallow back into your cave. Hey, there you go, Deb. That's a good way to put it. Pleasantly plump. There you go. Like I said, pleasantly plump, built for cuddling. Hey, nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong at all. See. Well, it is getting on to about midnight here. I don't think there's honestly also a whole lot more I can do with this thing right now. I'm sitting here thinking, yeah. By the way, tell me in the comments below. Excuse me. I keep getting a little frog in my throat or whatever you call it. But if you think of something that would be kind of cool for a bubbler in here, let me know in the comments below here. I have thought about, maybe doing some stuff in here to kind of add some bubblers and such, add a little bit of decorative pieces to it. Actually, one bubbler I do have, see if I can find it here quick. Where did I put that thing? Aha! There's one of my bubblers. Check it out, guys. It's a big old volcano. I got this at a fish swap in Omaha earlier. It's about 7 or so inches tall, so it wouldn't be overly huge, but I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool. What do y'all think? Actually, you know what? Oh, there's nothing in here right now, so what the heck not? Why the heck not? Come on. Whoa! Volcano flip? Nah! You're gonna make me stick my arm in there, aren't you? You son of a beast. That water is cold. That water is cold. Hey, how's that? Ah, cold. That water wasn't as warm as I thought. Here you go, guys. Oop. We're caught on the edge here. See if we can bump that a little bit forward. How's that look, guys? Oh, let's kill that light. What do you think? Should we keep that in there? You tell me, guys. I have thought that maybe doing like a little island back towards there, like where the tetras or whatever I would put the small schooling fish back there would be kind of cool. And then like the main deep, like, forefront would just be mostly sand and such with some rocks and woods, I guess. And yeah, this volcano would actually add a nice little touch to that, I think. Ugh. Ed, need 2 more. I mean, wouldn't be bad, honestly. Or you can get like a big treasure chest of some sort. I don't know. Problem is the PetSmart and really even Amazon doesn't really have a whole lot of cool things in my mind, cool things to pick from in terms of bubblers. IHSP Tank Tribe, how's it going? Good to see ya. Just joining the chat here. Good to see you. Oh, Debs, I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. Could get a waterproof red light in with that too. I like that a lot. That would be kind of cool, actually. Yeah, that could be super, super cool. Let's see here. Wait, always prolong this another 5 minutes here yet. I'm sitting here thinking if there is really anything else here I can really do. I don't think there really is, though. I mean, I guess I could connect the canister to it here tonight, but that's going to take a little bit of time here. And honestly, nah, I think we're going to save that for later. Son of a gun, guys. My arm's still kind of cold. I was up on the top of that earlier and I was thinking, like, wow, this water actually stayed relatively warm. Not bad for 500 gallons of straight tap water. And then all of a sudden, it's like you get your arm down there, and it's like, ooh, that chilled fast. That cooled off very fast. Just sit over the bubbler. If it's heavy enough to hold it down, there you go. I love it. Yeah, I need to look on Amazon here at some point to see if I can find another decent bubbler or something that would be cool to go with this. But I don't know. I mean, here's the next thing with the bubblers. I wouldn't want to do anything that takes too much. I don't want just like a cheap looking one either. I want something that would go somewhat with the aquascape, which means I probably need to figure out something exactly precisely what I want to do there. But at the same time, it's also like, I don't want to just throw, any bubbler in there. I want it to look good, but I also don't want it to take away any of this. I don't want it to hog up any swim space from the Maboo or the fish in general, Just stuff such as that. I don't know. I'm going to some swap ups and conventions here as time passes along. I'm sure we'll find some stuff. I mean, these conventions, they always do have some cool stuff. Oh, Ed, I just pee. Why y'all talking about that certain S word now? Oh, we don't want any of that stuff around here right now. We're just starting to get rid of that up here in old Iowa here. And I actually don't mind the fact that we're getting rid of it. I would actually like that trend to continue. I don't hate winter by any means whatsoever, but I'm definitely more of a spring, summer, fall person. I like to be able to go and do things outside when it gets cold outside and such. It's not all that fun. That's good because I don't want any of that right now either. We've actually been very fortunate thus far. Knocking on wood there, but hopefully it was. Hopefully we don't have too much because I don't like. Cold is fine. Cold is fine. It's not great, but beats the hell out of snow. Snow makes the roads slick. And you would think in a state where people expect snow in the winter, you think people would take that into account when they drive and maybe drive, a little more carefully, a little more mindful of others. Oh, no, 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 no. People here in Iowa don't do that at all. Oh, that's why Iowa, to some people, is an acronym for idiots out wandering about. Coming from a person that's been raised in Iowa for about 20 plus years of my life. It's like when you get on the interstates and the roads and all that, sometimes I fully believe no, Iowa is just a fancy acronym for IOWA, idiots out wandering about. Yeah, I hate ice. And people, especially in Council Bluffs here, just drive like a mad hatter over here, and I just don't get why they do that. It's like you're it's like this is not hockey. You should not be sliding your vehicle all over the roads. I'm with you, Deb. I'd rather have snow than ice, but neither one are all that fun to drive on. But yeah, Matt, we had oops, chat just jumped on me. Yikes, 8+ inches. Yeesh. Yeah, we don't have anything like that, as you just mentioned here earlier. Yeah, we maybe have 2 inches. I think here in Council Bluffs, I mean, we 2 inches, if that, on the ground still. We melted a little bit of it today. Ooh, excuse me. I hope not, Ed. I hope we don't get hit too much of it, but I guess we'll see. Well, let's see. What's my weather app here say? We'll see what this here says. Well, we have a very slim chance of getting some snow and such on Thursday and Friday. A decent shot of getting some snow and such, though, here in Council Bluffs on Saturday. They're labeling it as a 50% chance to get some snow here. Now let's look a little bit deeper into that. Oh, what the heck. Oh, my weather app sometimes is very frustrating. It's only saying about 1 inch of snow. It's not saying a whole lot. Oh, so you stopped at the favorite store there. Very good. Yes, Fish Freaks is a very cool place. I actually had half of my end up. I almost should have went out there earlier. Yep, Ed, I just saw that now. But yeah, Fish Freaks, it's a cool place. I'm probably going to go over there and buy some ink birds for my heaters and all that. I was telling them that, yeah, hey, if you get the proper wattage up on there and such, then yeah, I'll probably go ahead and yeah, I'll probably spend the most I've ever spent on heaters in the past here. Because in terms of this tank with the Maboo puffer, I'm not taking a shortcut on a heater again, because I learned out the hard way with the spotted Congo puffers, as I mentioned earlier, that yeah, heaters are just one of those things, man. You don't dare take too big of a shortcut, if any shortcut whatsoever. Because if you do, you're probably going to pay the price. And that's just not a price, especially with a puffer, that I want to pay again. It's, again, as I said earlier, if I make the mistake once, then all right, it's a learning experience. If it happens again, it's a lesson. And yes, I consider learning experience and lessons sometimes different things. Sometimes a lesson is you're like, okay, you did this one time and you didn't learn anything. Here's the lesson. It doesn't freaking work. Change it. That's basically what I mean by it. But yeah. Oh, didn't buy anything, Matt. Wow. You're a stronger man than me. I never walk out of that store without buying anything. Then again, you have a little bit of a longer commute back home than I do. Back to Sioux City and such. That is it's about an hour and a half ish or so. I think they're about to get a shipment too, so I'm not sure what their stock is all like, because I know on the weekends, especially on Mondays too. Fish Freak sometimes just gets nailed on the weekends. Like Friday evenings and all of Saturday, all of Sunday, they just get drilled. And I mean, we got some other stores here in the area that get some decent attention, but nothing like Fish Freaks. Fish Freaks just, man, they sometimes just get slammed. I mean, that's saying something because, I mean, fantastic fish here in Bellevue, a suburb of Omaha. And I mean, Rivers and Reefs is another one I like to go to. James's store with Blue Dog Aquatics and Reptiles in Ralston. They're gaining popularity and such. Great to see for an awesome guy there that he is. I'm forgetting one. I'm trying to remember what it is. What is it? Nebraska Aquatic Supply, which is actually not too far away from Fish Freaks. They get a decent crowd once in a while too, with the fact that they sell fish and all that, and all that jazz. They also sell reptiles and amphibians and such, so they're starting to grow their inventory too. I mean, I don't know. It's a pretty cool place. I don't go there all that much, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's also my next thing. I'm also now to the point now where of all the tanks and such I have down here too, I'm the same way, Matt, where like I'm going to be very picky about what I get because, well, my problem at first when I got in this hobby, I was terrible with impulse purchases. And every once in a while, I still do that to myself, and it gets me in trouble. And especially ever since, it's kind of why I like this YouTube thing too, because it's made me somewhat aware to where it's like, the bottom line, I'm not an expert, as I've said numerous times on this channel. I'm an enthusiast, not an expert. But at the same time, it's just one of those two where it's like, still, when people subscribe to your channel, they sometimes take advice from you. Hence, there is still a responsibility factor to it. So it's kind of made me realize, like, hey, you got to be careful with those impulse purchases, I tell myself. Because if you do and you put it on the channel, well, everyone's going to see you screw up. So be mindful. That's what I tell myself anyway. But that is true, Ed. It is like right on the same shopping block as Dave & Buster's. My wife and I haven't gone there. Actually, I don't think my wife and I have gone to the Dave & Buster's since before. I think the last time we went was before the pandemic. So it's been a hot minute. And by a hot minute, I mean a hot few years. It has been a while since we've last gone to Dave & Buster's, but it is true. I highly recommend it, Ed. His store is really cool, and his tanks look really, really good. And he's got some really unique reptiles, and that's coming from a person that honestly, it's not that I dislike reptiles; they're just not my thing. On my channel, I will say now, if anyone is holding out to see if I ever get reptiles, I'm telling you now, that will not happen. As much, I do think frilled lizards are cool. I do think that, some turtles and tortoises are cool. I think they're cool, but I just don't have any interest in keeping them as a pet. I just don't. I'm glad that some people do, but yeah, I don't know, for me, not for me. But yeah, well, honestly, Ed, it's actually not even in Iowa. The Blue Dog Aquatic store is actually in the Omaha area, so you actually got to cross the river into Nebraska for that. But I mean, either way, yeah, it's unfortunately for you in Chattanooga, it is a drive. I mean, yeah, I think Aquaticon for me was like 13, just shy of 13 and a half hours. I think it was like 13 and a quarter one way. It's a drive. No doubt about that. It is a drive. And honestly, with the Keystone Clash in Pennsylvania, that's kind of the main thing with me too. Like, I've done some homework on like the logistics about making it work. Well, the two main things here that really with me are kind of really making me like, ooh, am I sure we want to go all the way out there? Because one, in order to get out there, unless I'm going to go way out of the way, I got to take a toll road. And one way is like $60 one direction. Screw that. While another way is like $25, which I'd rather not pay anything, but I guess I'll take $25 well before I take a 65 one way. Because I guess toll roads are okay as long as I don't have to take them all the way through, but yeah, I don't know. I don't want to do toll roads too much because like I just want to drive and I want to spend money on the conventions, food, and with you guys, the friends and such, the fish fam. I don't want to spend it on money for just being able to just drive on a daggone road. I think that's stupid. I mean, I get why they do it, but at the same time, I'm also just like, I don't want to put my money there. I got way better things I can put my money towards. That is true, Ed. You do have family here in Council Bluffs. That sometimes slips my mind once in a while. But as I said, though, my memory isn't always all that good. I feel like we've had this conversation before, Ed, but I have an uncle named Bruce as well, actually. Only my uncle Bruce actually lives in Davenport, Iowa, the complete other side of the state. I'm about as western Iowa as you can get. And of course, Davenport is about as eastern Iowa as you can get. Like literally polar opposites of Iowa. Only seen him like 2 times in the past 5 years. Well, hey, sounds like you got a reason to come on over to Iowa sometimes, Ed. Mosey on over here, see your uncle. We'll maybe hit up a fish store or something. I mean, actually, in February, Omaha is having a fish swap, actually. I got to remember the date here. I want to say it's... Let's see, what is the date for that? Come on, calendar. When is that swap? Let's see. Nebraska Aquarium Society. When is this? Oh, there you go, Ed. It is Sunday, February 26th. So, I mean, hey, if you're looking for a reason to see family and then maybe get a fish swap or something later, I mean, just saying, Ed. Right there it is. Well, if it ever focuses. Let's kill that light. There you go. Nebraska Aquarium Society swap meet, February 26th. Starting at 11 a.m. I mean, you can mosey here, meet some family. We could go out for some Pizza King. I mean, we can make a nice little trip out of it, man. They also got a rally house here in Council Bluffs that just recently opened where you can also get your Kansas City gear on. Yeah, see, that's the next thing. I mean, the toll roads are one thing to get to the Keystone Clash for me, but the next problem is, for me, it's an 18-hour drive. Like, to where the Keystone Clash is from Council Bluffs, it is literally an 18-hour drive for me to get over there. I mean, 18 hours. I mean, you think about that. That's a lot of dang driving. I mean, here's the thing. I can easily do, 6 to 8 hours in a car one day, no problem. 10 to 12, I start to feel it, but usually I can do it. Okay. Once we start getting above the 12-hour range, though, and such, like Aquaticon in Knoxville, Tennessee, like 13 and a quarter is, don't get me wrong, I still split it up in 2 days, but I could have done it all in one day if I really wanted to. I could have got up early in the morning and just went over and did it. But 18 hours, I'm just looking at that too, like, there's just no way I can do that in one day. There's just no way. Like, I would have to stop somewhere in the middle on the way there and on the way back home. Like, 18 hours of driving in one day, that's just too much. And I don't want to fly either, because I feel like then what happens if I buy fish or plants? Like, how do I bring that home then? Because, you can't bring those bags on the plane or nothing. But yeah, I don't know. Like the toll roads and just how long of a drive it would be. That's just the main two things with Keystone Clash. From like, I really want to get over there. I mean, I really, really do. But I'm also just like, damn it, 18 hours. 18 God blessed hours. That is a long drive. 18 hours is such a long drive. And then, I mean, if it was just 18 hours, I'd probably be like, okay, suck it up, let's go. But then when you add the toll roads on there too, I mean, the second option for toll roads is only like $25 one way. So I'm like, okay, $50 worth of toll roads. Okay, I can bite that bullet. I mean, I'd rather not still, but it's like, okay, I'll do that way the heck before I pay $130 for a round trip, because screw that. But I mean, I'll do $40 or something like that well beforehand. But yeah, it is unfortunately coming right around the corner. Hard to believe it's only a month away at this point, but it's a bummer too, because unfortunately for the Nebraska Aquarium Society, it's going to be their last one. I guess they're closing it down. I guess they're already talking about getting a new swap, maybe even two up here in the Omaha area, which I would love to see. I would love to see us get one in here. I don't know why Lincoln, Nebraska doesn't do a swap either, because Lincoln's only about 45 minutes away from me. I'd easily make that drive. I mean, I try to go to Des Moines each time too, because Des Moines is just, it's about an hour 45, just shy of 2 hours for me here in Council Bluffs. So, hey, why are we always yelling? Again, I don't know, but alas, here I am. But good to see you here yelling. Uh-oh. Oh, I keep right-clicking some of these things. I got to quit doing that. Thank you, Austin, and everyone. Got to go out and -3 degrees to get bus to work. Take care. Her 11. Absolutely. Have a good one, Debs. Thank you for checking in here. And yeah, Ed puts it perfectly here. Have a wonderful day, Debs. Don't let the cold hit you too bad. It's not too cold here in Council Bluffs, Iowa. I think we are below freezing here, but what are we here? Actually, according to my phone, we are right at the freezing level. We are at 33 degrees Fahrenheit here. So, honestly, for a mid-January night, not too bad. We have definitely had way worse. Oh, let's see. It is, wow, we're already going on to 1:45 here? Goodness gracious. Man, this is really just, time flies when you're having fun. Yeah, we've streamed for over 2 hours. Goodness. Honestly, guys, I'm actually a little tired myself here. So, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping it up here. But thank you all so much for joining us again here, or joining me here on this late night musing streams here. I like these late night streams where just some of y'all come in here, we chat, we chill. I do a little work around the fish room. It's really cool. I think I might try to find a date where we do this somewhat regularly, or at least where I do this regularly. But yeah, at some point I might go ahead and try to put something like this, because yeah, I enjoy this. This is fun. Being a night owl and all that too, it's not hard to do either. But yeah, with that said, guys, though, I think I am probably gonna call it a night here soon and mosey to bed here soon. But thank you all so much for coming in on the stream, following up on the work on this. Like I said, probably within the near future here, I'm gonna do a little video kind of recapping what I'm all doing with this tank here. Put some new bits of information in there. So those of you that have caught, all these live streams as we've, done the sand, done the leak testing, and now, this, where we've drained and refilled the tank and such. Gonna have some bits in there, as well as some new bits of information as well. I'll try to have an aquascaping idea figured out by then. So yeah, we can make it all interesting for everybody involved. But yep, thank you all. And again, if you want to, go ahead and check out my most recent video with the Arrowhead Puffer care guide, if that interests you. Because I mean, it's I know a lot of y'all watch me just for the puffers and such, because puffers are awesome. So if that suits your fancy, be sure to check that out. I'll drop it here in the chat here one more time. But as always, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. A special thank you to all the members and my 3 awesome moderators, Liquid Zoo OnlyFans, Zen Ginger, and of course my amazing wife, Mrs. Freak. See you all in my next video, folks. As always, stay fantastic.